What are you listening to?
The Get to Know podcast.
You're listening to the Get to Know
Podcast.
What's happening, guys? This is Liam and you're locked in to the Get to Know podcast. If you're listening right now, big up yourself. I really appreciate you. And I have some great shows coming up, so make sure you subscribe. Each week we'll be getting to know a guest, hence the name Get to Know. See what I did there? Simple but effective. Alright, so today, as it's the first episode, I thought I would bless you with two guests. So I have singer-songwriter Iman Lake, as well as creative director and his manager, Azeez Bello. Big up them for coming on, man. First episode, I really appreciate it. Now, these guys, really talented. They released Stranger Days, their last single, with a comic book to go with it. And we'll also be talking about their other work. You can get the comic at imanlake.com. Alright, so we are locked into the Get to Know podcast, and I am joined by Iman Lake and Azeez Bello. How you doing, guys?
We're good, man. We're good,
man. Happy to be here.
Happy to be here.
Alright, nice one. Honestly, really thanks a lot for coming. Really appreciate it. To get into things, we're going to go for the quick fire rounds. I'll ask a question, you just got to give me an answer.
Alright, sweet. Perfect.
Alright, so we're going in now. So, first one, English or maths?
English. Now, my answer was really maths. I'm not going to lie.
Messi or Ronaldo?
Ronaldo.
Messi.
Okay. Films or TV series?
Films.
Cats or dogs?
Cats.
And Apple or Android?
Apple.
You know what? That's so funny. We used to have this discussion all the time because I'm an ex-Android guy, but now I'm on the Apple wave, man. But I'll still say Android.
Yeah. Okay. First.
Yeah.
And Nike or Adidas?
Nike.
Like.
Unless it's Yeezy, so that's your answer.
Kanye West or Jay-Z?
Jay-Z.
Wait, what was the answer?
Kanye or Jay-Z?
Kanye, Jay-Z. Kanye.
Okay. Spider-Man or Batman?
Oh,
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Yeah. Instagram or Twitter?
Twitter.
Yeah, good choice. And finally, winter or summer?
Summer.
Winner.
Oh, okay. Why winter? Come on.
Summer's lit,
That's what
man.
I'm saying.
He's feelings. That's why he's saying winter.
No, I'm a winter baby, innit? I was born on Christmas.
Okay.
So
And I was born in the summer, so it makes sense.
yeah.
I'm an autumn guy, but I prefer summer still.
You know what I'm saying? Wow.
All right. So, well, obviously, I've got you here, to talk about, make the comic and also your other work. Well, before I get into all that, how do you two actually know each other?
I'll let you go.
We went to school together.
Okay.
So we've known each other since years, and we went to different paths after school, and then university, and then when I started doing music, it was the same time as he started, getting into directing bag, and then we just came together, and then it's been that ever since, just starting to work together and just make things happen.
Literally.
So you went to school together, and then you kind of went your separate ways, and then it was after a little while you kind of reconvened. But you had interests.
But when we were in school, we were friends. It's not like we just knew each other.
Yeah.
We were friends, and then obviously went off to sixth form, and then we were still friends, but we just hadn't seen each other. Didn't really have much reason to be around each other. And then uni, everyone goes in separate ways, and then in 2016, that's when I got into photography and stuff, and then I needed a model, and then what better guy than this guy, And then after that, I think, one more year at uni, and then we linked up again, and he started playing me his music, and then, man, that was a wrap.
All So, firstly, Iman, can you talk to me about, kind of your background and how you ended up getting into music?
So, like, I come from Nigerian family, but I'd say because of my siblings, that was the origin of me in music, kind of thing. Like, they would play me a lot of the music they were listening to because they were much older, so it would be like I wouldn't naturally be inclined to listen to that music, but because they showed it to me, it's like, oh my god, this is cool, this is amazing. So I feel like I've always grown up with the appreciation of great music, because it was like the 90s and 2000s. That was a pioneering time. So I feel like my first contact with music was a lot of great pioneering artists. So I feel like throughout my life I've always appreciated that kind of music. And then it was a thing where throughout school I did music, but it was always a passive thing. Obviously I sing, songwrite, and it's like socially that's great, with girls and stuff, but it was always like a thing that I could do, and I felt like, yeah, one day I'll pick it up. But then I feel like I was at uni, and then when you go to uni, you're just a bit like what's going on here? Why am I here? Kind of thing. I started like really putting time into it and like figuring out the craft of it, and then so since then I just knew that this was something I'll pursue. It was just about getting into all the pieces coming together, and then they came together naturally, and we started the journey, and that's it.
So how did that transition happen between you actually growing up with all this good music to you thinking, I actually want to make my own music?
It's a thing where I've had contact with like the reality of being an artist at a young age. There was like I knew a few artists and stuff, and I've been in studio sessions, and I'd seen it, and I felt like it was something that was tangible, even though I grew up like music was something on TV. But in being a teenager and seeing people actually do it, made it more tangible reality. And I feel like it was just a case of educating myself and what I needed to do to actually pursue it properly. Yeah, that was the transition period.
So you said like your older siblings were kind of introduced you to a lot of music. What sort of music was that? Like, who were we talking about? Who were the influences?
So obviously, it's this MTV bass era, Kiss music, what that sort of
those were the days.
Child, Kanye's, 50 Cent, like after 50 Heavy when he came out, just like hip hop, R&B, pop music, Timberlake, everything really. So everything that was popular and mainstream. And then as I grew up, I started to find my own niches in the music I enjoyed, and so I feel like everything that I listened to just coalesced into what I make and what I'm like. Yeah.
And you have quite a unique style. Like who influences you stylistically?
Stylistically, I'll say one of the writers that I look up to is like Frank Ocean. His writing style is really unique and very particular, so that was what definitely inspired me in the early stages of me starting to make music. And then like the artists that I look at and like try to take things like Kanye's, Jay-Z's, and then that's just generally it. I feel like there's many more, but I feel like those are the big ones. But then when it comes to myself, I feel like I just do what feels natural, and that's what it is.
Just go with the vibe.
So Azeez, talk to me about your journey. I mean, I know you're clearly a very creative person. I can't help but think that was always in you, but I know your journey was a little bit unorthodox. So.
Yeah. I feel like unconsciously throughout like my whole childhood and like growing up, I've probably always been into like the creative, I guess, industry, because, not the creative industry, but like creative forms of expression. Because my mum used to take like so many pictures when I was growing up, and like when I, throughout like my childhood and like when I was a teenager, I used to take a lot of pictures as well. I had a lot of pictures on my phone, but it was like, this was like before the whole era of like everyone is taking selfies. You know what I mean? I feel like I was always into that, but I feel like during my academic journey, like throughout school and like sixth form and uni, I didn't do anything creative. So like from like primary school, I mean, I guess I used to be into like acting and stuff like that, but when I went to secondary school, it was just like straight science, statistics, maths, like no creative, no like media, no drama, no nothing like that. Then I went off to sixth form, did biology, chemistry, psychology, nothing creative. Uni, did biochemistry, and then it wasn't until I was in uni that like I kind of felt like I didn't have any talents. Like I had housemates and like they were into different things. Like one of them was into football, the other one was like, he was like properly into science, another one was like a photographer, and I just felt like I didn't have anything. So then I remember like throughout like my whole secondary school and like a sixth form, I was working during the summer, so I'd been like saving up money, and then I basically just like said that this summer I'm not gonna work, I'm just gonna work for myself. And then I invested, I bought like a camera and a laptop, like a laptop that was like powerful enough to like handle the software. And then I literally just started shouting people, and everyone was like, I was even like shouting people like, yo, like I just wanna work with you for free, like, and everyone was like, no, we're good, thank you, because obviously I didn't have any experience. So then I just started reaching out to my friends who like I thought had a like unique style of their own, and like friends who were kind of like fashion forward, like this guy, you know. And then I just started doing photo shoots, and then I started creative directing for an artist who I did a couple of videos for. And then after that, I was that kind of like introduced me into like the music industry, and I was like really around a lot of people who were in like different positions. So like I was around managers, I was around producers, I was the like photographer, videographer, editor. So it's like I kind of like definitely learned a lot about everything. And then after that, I realized that it really wasn't, it was really within my skill set to be able to manage somebody. And then, you know, I don't even know how like I started managing Iman, but it was just a thing where it just happened organically.
Yeah, it was a case where I didn't ask him to manage me, and then he didn't ask to be my manager. We just started working.
It literally, that was it. Because like, I feel like, obviously, I had like quite a few connections from what I was doing before, and I feel like he had like talent and like the work rate to just like keep going. Do you know what I mean? So from there, it just like happened organically. But yeah, I didn't have a background doing anything creative, but I just developed it.
So why do you think you kind of veered away from the creative side and more like, you know, the science and the statistical side? Because, you know, it's clearly a passion of yours. So why do you think it took so long for you to really dive into that?
I just feel like I didn't, like I never experimented. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like in a weird way, I feel like science and like what I'm doing now are like so related.
Yeah.
Like there's so many transferable skills, like just being able to like kind of analyze a situation, or be able to know that there's different variables that go into something happening. Like nothing just happens. Everything happens, I guess, for a reason, or there's always like cause and effect. It's like nothing just like happens like that. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like going with that mindset of like understanding, you know, certain reactions and like how compounds and certain things form, and like, you know, how the body works and different things like that. It's like I could kind of transfer some of those skills into like the industry, and maybe look at the industry or career as a body. Do you know what I mean? And see like what variables need to like work well. And I could look at other people and see like what they're doing right, and if they don't do those things, what happens. And it's just like that type of transferable skills.
So when you started the degree, what was your intention in terms of work-wise? What did you want to go on to do?
You know what? Yeah, when I started my degree, there was a thing where I was just good at science. Like from primary school, I was just like, I had an interest in it and I was good at it. So it's just like I was just doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like from when I was young, I always said like I'm gonna be a businessman, but I didn't know what I was gonna do. I'd always just said like, even if it's in science, I'm gonna probably veer off into like pharmaceuticals and being like a consultant or something along those lines. But I didn't think I was gonna be working in a lab, that's for sure. But I always felt like I had the people skills, like based on the jobs that I've done in the past, and I could like kind of read situations. So I feel like I always felt like that was going to be my final calling, but I had no idea it was going to be in the creative industry, but it just happened that way.
Yeah. So with both of you now, you're in, deep into the creative industry, and you're making waves. But what has, if anything, has surprised you about being in the industry, like positive or negative?
I think you're good.
Positives. People aren't as far away as you think they are.
Mm-hmm.
Like things are very attainable and reachable. It just takes a bit of like, knocking on the right door or asking the right question kind of thing. Things are very, like, the 6 degrees of separation are very real. And if you have something in your mind that you want to do, you just have to follow the right steps, and you can definitely do it. Like nothing is unattainable, and no goal can't be accomplished. Obviously, there are a lot of factors that work against, a lot of intentions, but like if you really are thorough, then anything can really be done that you try to. So that's been a positive outlook for me.
Yeah, I would say for me, I feel like one thing that's really been a positive is just us working together. Like, I know that doesn't really talk about the industry, but I feel like we're like on the same wavelength, and we kind of have a clear vision, and we're on the same page. So it's a thing where, it's really important in this industry to be able to like trust somebody and like kind of, know that you guys aren't, gonna, I mean, it's possible, but you don't think that you're gonna deviate in the future. Like, that your end goal is kind of the same thing, and it's like you're just working towards the same goal. I feel like that's definitely something that has been beneficial. Like, yeah, working with each other. But I'll definitely say, adding on to what he said, definitely a thing about, nothing's unattainable. I feel like if you do enough research, and I feel like, again, it goes back to the science thing. It's like, if you do enough research, you'll find the answers, because it's just like, you just have to learn from your mistakes and really do research into how you can reach the goals that you kind of set for yourself. So like the comic, for example, that's something that, I'm pretty sure a lot of people would probably look at it and be like, how did you come up with this idea? Like, did you have somebody helping you? But it's like, when you break it down, it's really not as complex as it probably seems. Do you know what I mean? Like, or maybe not to us, because we have that mindset. Do you know what I mean? Maybe to other people who don't have that mindset, it might seem like such a big task, but yeah, we've got a lot more in store.
Yeah,
just know that.
Good. So now you've mentioned the comic. Yeah, it's a good segue. So I know the initial inspiration came from the AHA Take Me Out, Take On Me video. Good song and video, by the way. So how did that turn into becoming an actual physical comic?
Yeah, so I think, I sent that to Azeez, and he was like, "Oh, this is sick." And it was like,
"Nah, you have to start from the failure, because we failed first before we got to."
Okay.
So
yeah, we had the song, and then we shot a video for it, and then it was a live action video, and we had a location for the video set up, and then last minute it just fell through, and then we got an emergency backup, and then it would have worked, but then last minute that fell through. So we went to the third option, and then we did it, and then when we came time to edit it up and look back on it, it was like it just didn't work, didn't fit the original vision. So then we had to just go back to the drawing board, go back to square one. So we're just sending references to each other, sending ideas. I sent the AHA video to Azeez, and he was like, "This is sick." And then obviously, because we've known each other such a long time, he knows that I'm into comic books. And he was like, "You know what? You should write a comic book." Because like the thing about the song is that I had a lot of ideas that I wanted to pack into it. But obviously, with the original video we had, it was a thing where we didn't have the resources to like put all of that into live action. So we had to tried to achieve it with a very artistic something that looked good and was, said something.
You lay the line down if you found out, but you're busy scratching post to ever know. Where you come from is where you run from, but looking around you never know that you a ghost. A single fire, a billion fates, a single lie is all it takes. In the time before the maze, these are stranger days. You can run towards, put out the fire within the core. Lock your gates and build your walls. It comes to none, you'll bleed out and run. A little bit of greed is all we'll ever need. Deaf, dumb and blind to all the pain we see. Tape her down, make sure she doesn't scream. A screaming blonde is.
Then with the comic book, it was easier to translate everything I meant and everything that I intended for the song into the visuals.
So it's like we had like kind of no idea that it was gonna do as well as it did.
Yeah.
I feel like originally it was more a thing where we thought like, we'll sell it at shows and like, hopefully like some people would buy it. Even though we had like an idea to definitely continue the series and continue making comic books in the future, just because we want many streams of income. Do you know what I mean? So this was something that we felt like could definitely keep going, maybe even after music, and could grow into its own thing. But yeah, we were like very happy with the response that it got.
Yeah, tell me about it. Talk to me more about the success that the response that it's had.
I feel like I think the way it went out was it went viral on Twitter a couple times, and I feel like one of the reasons was because of the lack of the kind of the black comic book previously. So I feel like it just resonated with people, and for that reason, people just everyone was inside, everyone was looking. It was like I feel like it was a perfect confluence of events. So everyone was just inside, and we wanted new forms of content or whatever the case may be, and then it just came at the perfect time, and then everyone just they gravitated towards it.
Yeah, and I also feel like it was a black comic book, but that was literally us just writing our reality. Do you know what I mean? Like this was like I said last year, way before the whole George Floyd like tragedy and like everything else that has happened in more recent time. So it wasn't even a thing where we were trying to make like a black comic book. We were just making a comic book based on ourselves. And I feel like also the fact that it had a song attached to it and like it was animated, and like when you get you could get a physical comic book, and when you get it, it takes you through to the animated video. I feel like all of that all together just really made people say like this is different.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought, and it's definitely got legs to it. Because when I finished it, I'm thinking, yo, I want to know what happens next. Like, I want to see more.
Yeah.
So
don't worry, we got you, bro.
Good, man. That's what I want to hear.
Yeah, the next one's coming.
Yeah, so when was it originally written?
I think we finished it in like December or January of either December 2019 or January 2020. So it was written quite early on this year, and it was crazy because like a few of the things we put in happened this year, so it just felt like it was just bizarre,
mate.
It was bizarre.
It was crazy, and it was actually written like last year October, but it was like kind of finished around December, January.
Yeah.
But one thing that was like so crazy, like there's so many things that were so crazy about the comic that like kind of translated into real life, like the stock market's crashing, the explosion in Beirut.
Yeah.
Like the visual of that versus what was in the comic book was like literally side by side, looked exactly the same. And obviously
The Australian wildfires.
the wild, it's just like it was mad. And yeah, those are all tragedies. Those are all things that we wouldn't want to happen, but it's just crazy that they did, you know.
It was a thing where these felt like worst case scenarios. You know, this felt like the worst thing that could happen that wouldn't happen. You know, so for me, it was about raising awareness and trying to drown out the feeling of apathy that that we feel in society, in the sense that we all have these lives that we live, and sometimes it can feel like we're trudging along while the world is happening around us, but it's like we're part of the world and we have a stake in it. So I felt like I just wanted to reflect that, like we're not passive. We are active members of our world and our society. So I feel like that was the key thing for me that I tried to put across.
Yeah, and obviously Iman wrote the song and the comic, but the interpretation that I took out of it, like when I read it for the first time, was it's kind of like putting you, like he said, into that worst case scenario, but then giving you the chance to be like, that's what could have happened, but now you have a chance to, change what could possibly happen. Like you've seen the worst, but luckily that isn't the case right now, and you can, change the future, I guess. But yeah, I guess as we've seen in the past year, the worst case scenarios pretty much happened.
So what is like the creative process? Let's say Oman's you've written the song or a song, and then you kind of want to come up with, say, an album cover or a music video. So what's the process from the song being written to the artwork or the video being produced?
I think it usually happens quite organically. Like I know that that's such a cliche answer to give, but it really and truly does. I feel like so with the Stranger Days, or let's even go back to like 11.5. That was the first single. But with that video, that we went to an art exhibition, and we pretty much just like filmed in there. And the art exhibition was actually called Days of Future Past.
Strange Days.
Strange Days of Future Past. And it's crazy because that came, I guess, before. Yeah, it came before Stranger Days.
Yeah.
It came before Stranger Days, but it didn't inspire Stranger Days. And with the artwork for the song, that was just a picture that we took inside of the exhibition, and then just made it look more like an artwork. And then with Stranger Days, that was based on a photo shoot that we did with a photographer called Dean Dumaire. And when I originally heard the song, like for the first time in the studio, the vision that I had for like what I thought the music video could be was pretty much what we shot in that photo shoot, and then we got that illustrated. And then with Neptune was the next song. That was literally this artwork that Iman's sister drew or painted, should I say, when she went to Nigeria. Can you tell what it is?
No.
It's basically an umbrella. It's like
Okay.
like a beach umbrella. Like if you were
like a parasol.
yeah. So like if you're just like lying. So when she drew that, it was like she drew that, and it was just here, and I was like, bro, that artwork is sick. Like let's make that the artwork for one of the songs, and then it kind of went with the theme of the song as well, and then that inspired the animation that came afterwards. And then for the birds, that visual, that's the latest song that just came out. If you ain't heard that,
Yeah, I love that song, by the way.
oh yeah, okay, good. Go check that on Spotify. But literally, here's the artwork for that.
Yeah, I just had a blackboard and I was like,
oh, wait,
right out.
Yeah, so literally just like wrote it out, and that was like just an idea that came from like just for the birds. The birds don't deserve any effort, you know what I mean? Give them as little effort as possible. So we just like drew stick figures, and then that just came.
But I know what you got coming. gonna do? But I know that you can't keep running. Yeah. All that running and gunnings for the birds and shit. Back shots, ice hot with that frozen dick. Break a piece for my jacks and the rocks and sip. Now my hair's growing on some Samson shit. Ego on a Kanye tip. Brand new fit, you can't match this drip. Slop top, yeah, she swirling split. After this, I can't fuck with a basic bitch. Don't drive, but I Uber the whip. No brekkie in bed, I'm gonna always dip. And I pick for the road with the metal in the nips. Like,
hey, where did you go? Come back. I miss you. Call me or something.
I don't know what I done to you, but I know what you got coming. I don't know what you're gonna.
And then for all the other singles that are yet to come, yeah, the idea, like, obviously I can't explain it now because they're not out yet, but the ideas will pretty much just come from life experiences. They just come natural. Yeah. And then the visuals, I feel like sometimes they're connected, but sometimes it's just about us like listening to the song and what we see.
And so, what is your favorite song that you've produced, Iman, and also Azeez?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I don't think I could give a favorite. You know, it's like having a favorite kids kind of thing. But there's some songs that are definitely like the studio session that it was just like it was great. I remember there was a week that I just like every song I made that week was just like 10/10. It just and that week just felt so. Probably in that week, the songs I made during that week were my favorite. None of those are out yet, so I can't really speak too much on them. But it's like do you watch Dragon Ball Z? Yeah, so there's like, you know how, so there's this instinct that Goku has. It's like ultra instinct where like after all these years of training, his body just moves on itself. So I feel like in that week, I was in ultra instinct. I was just like just working by itself. So I feel like, yeah, those songs, and then yeah, that's yeah.
No, he's lit, man. What can I say?
Yeah,
So, how would you describe your sound, Iman?
So I feel like every song just lives in a different pocket, you know. So I feel like I try to be an artist that I think, I don't know who quoted it, but it's like every artist should reflect the times or whatever. But I feel like I try to reflect not only the times but my life and different experiences in the hope that it will resonate with someone. But I feel like when it comes to like the actual music and the genre, I feel like it just depends on the moment of the creation. It depends on the feeling in the studio. So I feel like the sound fluctuates, but like the content is what I try to stay true to. So I feel like that is it to a T. You know, I feel like the greatest artists, they just move in and out of genre. So I feel like that's what I try to emulate and inspire towards. So yeah.
Yeah, no, I feel like nowadays it's kind of, I mean, most artists don't really want to be boxed in, you know what I mean? And I also feel like, even though that's the case, I feel like with Iman it's especially hard because, like he just said, every song is very different. So it's a thing where it's more just about the journey. Do you know what I mean? I'm not sure if that just sounds super like
I feel like in the projects, I feel like those aren't out yet, but I feel like in the projects there's definitely a sound within the projects that works. But I feel like even every project is different to the last, as opposed, you know. So I feel like there is seamlessness when it comes to music when they're put together. I feel like, you know.
And I feel like that goes back to the point of like the journey. It's like, because even though the projects sound cohesive, the individual songs on the project might sound very different, you know. And I feel like that's like how most of the best albums are. Like, they're very cohesive, you know, they've got a good length, they've got skits or whatever, but then they're also like very different. Like, it's pushing the boundaries. That's basically what I'm trying to say. It's all about pushing boundaries, and that's what I feel like Iman does well.
Yeah, I agree, because from what I've heard, the songs I've heard, it's sick because you have that sound that you can tell it's you know it's you, but the projects also sound different, it's that perfect blend. Because I think a lot of like the criticism that some artists will get. So I might say, oh, I like this person, and then the person that I'm saying that to might say, oh yeah, but all their songs sound the same. But with you, it's not the case. It's like you have that individual sound on each record, but you still got that, you still got your style on there. Like you can tell it's you, man, and you really mastered that pretty well.
I was just gonna say, I feel like even though you said that, I feel like there's definitely something for everyone. So I feel like probably once, I don't know, after like 2 years and like people have heard quite the spectrum of music, I feel like there's definitely going to be a sound that everybody can love. Like they might not like everything, but they're going to like at least something from the whole spectrum.
Sure.
Yeah.
So obviously we've had lockdown recently. I mean, how did you two find that, and how did it impact your creativity, if at all?
Yeah, I'll say the second lockdown for me was definitely a reflective one. Like summer, I feel like everyone was still adjusting to what was going on and stuff. But I feel like the second one, we knew the rodeo, and it was more of, you know, I feel like I had more time with myself just to like really take stock of the year and the last however much time, and so it was definitely a reflective period for me. So, and yeah, I would say with the lockdown, I feel like we were pretty productive, because I feel like you know, with like the Neptune illustration, and like even like the For the Birds song, that was all made in like the lockdown. Like the artwork and the visual for a song that's coming in February, that was made at the start of lockdown. And I feel like it's a thing where we had like I said before, like we have a clear vision, so we've been working towards that. And even though there's been a lockdown, we've just had to adapt, and I feel like we've adapted pretty well to like the situation, where like, you know, some people might just be like, oh well, next year once lockdown's over, but it's like we've kind of found a way to kind of pivot and be like, okay, we're gonna go this way now, and we just gotta go hard. So personally, I feel like it hasn't been that bad. I feel like definitely it's not the same, but it hasn't been terrible.
And what are your favorite parts of your career? So in terms of, say, like, is it being in the studio or writing the songs? What do you guys prefer?
I'm getting accustomed to appreciating all of it, you know. I feel like initially as an artist, obviously the favorite is just being in the studio, writing songs, all of that. And the other parts are always an adjustment. But I feel like we're reaching a stage that it's like, obviously we're not like, things aren't moving by itself at this point, but it's reaching a stage where, you know, we've built up a muscle memory to certain things. So I feel like every part has become enjoyable, but some still difficult. But you know, there's learning to find in it. But obviously, yeah, it's just writing the songs, you know, coming up with the ideas. That's the good stuff, you know. It's the magic.
Yeah, I feel like I'm the same. I feel like the good thing about me and Iman is that like we make a good team. So Iman's not just like an artist that's like, oh, okay, I made a song, like go do the visual, go like try to market it. It's like, it's literally both of us hands on. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, you know, I'm a director as well, so it's like, for me, the same way he probably feels about, you know, writing and making music, that's how I feel about, you know, coming up with visual ideas and doing that side of things. But at the same time, you know, there's so many other things that we have to like kind of learn, like as we're on this journey. And I feel like, you know, we've been doing that together. So it's been pretty good. We're just working basically. So I feel like I enjoy everything.
And what have been your career highlights so far?
I'll say dropping the first song. That was it was a milestone. It was the first song in it, so it was like, oh, okay, this is a great feeling. It's new. And then probably the response to the comic book so far, and yeah, those two are going to be the first of a lot. That's the many.
I'd say I've had so many, you know. I feel like definitely, like I said, working with Iman, that's definitely a career highlight.
For me as well.
And then I would say a lot of the songs, like, you know, setting up the sessions and then hearing the music, it's like, that's definitely a highlight. And then I would also say making the comic. I feel like that was like a super highlight because it was just so fun. And then we weren't even thinking about the response. It was just about like getting the ideas out and then making it. Because it's like we've all read so many comic books, do you know what I mean? But then us actually making our own and then trying to make it as close to or even better than what we've read in the past is like, that was really fun. And then I'd say there's a visual that's coming out in February. That was really fun making that too. Yeah. Like, yeah, when you see that, you know which one we're talking about. But yeah, that was really fun. And yeah, okay, let me not speak too much, but
No, go on. I'm trying to hear it.
the EP as well, that's coming next year. That was a fun process. So, yeah.
Is that what's coming next from you guys? Nah? All right.
No.
Okay.
That's a bit away, but
It's a bit away.
It's on the horizon.
Yeah. But it was a fun process working on that.
Yeah, I feel like just creating in general, like
Literally.
every form of it is just like it's great, you know.
Yeah.
So, what is next on the horizon for you guys?
So yeah, just a few more songs, a few more visuals, and then an EP. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, and if I want to build a bit more hype, I would say a visual for the song that's just come out for the Birds, potentially a remix for it with some people that you might know, you know, maybe you don't, but regardless, it's going to be good. And then that visual in February and the song in February, that's going to be good. And then after that, there's just going to be a lot more music, and who knows what we might come up with in that time, you know. We've got a lot planned for like the end of the year, so look forward to that.
Sick, man. All right, nice, guys.
How about you?
Me? So
Yeah.
so this is the early stages. So I've got a few episodes of this to film, and then he's going to be released soon. I've got some really exciting people coming up on the pod. So it's exciting time, man. Like it's nice to see all of us just creating.
I'm happy to hear that, and this is sick. Like, you know, a lot of people like have ideas, but they don't act on them. So it's really good that like you've had an idea and you're, you know, bringing it to life, and like even like reaching out to us, like, you know, definitely down to do this because we just like to see, you know, creativity and progress and people, I guess, putting their visions into action.
Yeah, man, I appreciate that.
If we saw the ripples in our souls just like the seas, and diamonds fell to earth like they were leaves, tell me what will we be? What will we be? I can't heal your pain, and we can't change our names. Fuck it, let's cut down the grain. Could be a beautiful thing. Tell me what you like to do, and I'll do it for you. I'll do it for you. Dreaming on its high. We're sailing in jewels. We're sailing in jewels. We met a place where the deserts touch the seas. A time before a time when birds nested with the bees. You taught me the fusion dance, and we practiced in the sheets. You made me your disciple in the most ancient of techniques. So tell me what you like to do, and I'll do it for you. I'll do it for you. Dreaming on its side. We're sailing in jewels. We're sailing in jewels.
All right, so what we're gonna do next, almost just to end the show, it's a little trivia section. So What we've got, I've got 5 questions for you each on comics. So we'll see we'll see how you get on.
He's definitely gonna win.
Is it?
Yeah, but
Let's
go.
see. Let's see.
So who wants to go first?
I might as well go first because I'm probably not gonna do it well.
All right, we'll see.
Get me out of the way.
All right, so first question. Who was the first costume superhero? So it's multiple choice.
Mm.
All right, so A, Phantom, B, Arrow, C, Crimson Avenger, or D, Superman?
You know, so I think the answer is probably Superman, but when you said Crimson, I was thinking Crimson Chin. From,
Fairly Odd Parents.
yeah. I mean, I feel like you might be baiting me out with the Superman because that's the most famous. But I'm just gonna say Superman.
All right.
Wrong.
Iman, what do you think?
I'm gonna say Superman as well. You know. Yeah.
All right. It's actually Phantom.
Phantom.
Who is Phantom?
I don't know, guys. What's next?
All right. So, what year was the first modern comic book printed? A, 1920, B, 1933, C, 1940, D, 1942.
1942.
Yeah. For me, it's a time between 1920 and 1933.
Yikes.
I feel like 33 was like Batman and that.
Okay,
But they were the first. So I say 1920.
This is my question, bro.
Oh, is it?
I changed my answer to 1920.
1920. All right.
Yeah.
Answer is actually B, 1933.
Oh.
So close.
All right. Next question. Who is Luke Cage's best friend and partner in crime fighting? A, Daredevil, B, Human Torch, C, Doctor Strange, D, Iron Fist.
Daredevil. No, not Daredevil. Wait. Read the questions again, please. I mean the answers.
Daredevil, Human Torch, Doctor Strange, or Iron Fist.
Iron Fist.
That is correct.
There you go. Come on, you're the bomb.
What building served as the original headquarters for the Fantastic Four? Is it A, Baxter Building, B, 4 Freedoms Plaza, C, Stark Tower, or D, Titans Tower?
The first one. A.
Baxter Building.
Yeah.
That is correct.
Yes, you know the vibes.
All right, last question. Who is Scar? Is it A, son of Thor, B, son of Wolverine? Yeah, Skaar.
Brother of Mufasa. I'm joking. Sorry. Read that again.
No, all right. So it is. So the answers are A, son of Thor, B, son of Wolverine, C, son of Hulk, and D, son of Tarzan.
I mean, if you're talking about comics, it's not gonna be Tarzan. Did Hulk have a son? I think it's probably son of Thor, because it just seems like it would be him. He had one eye. And that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, it was actually Hulk.
Hulk.
It was Hulk.
Hulk had a son. What with Black Widow?
With Sierra the Old Strong.
Oh wow. Yeah. I can
All
say
right,
that
so
wrong. But I mean, I got 2 out of 5.
Yeah.
I mean,
You
it's not a win,
that,
but we learn.
Exactly.
We'll see.
If you get asked these questions again, you'll get them right. So.
Yeah,
exactly.
Let's go.
All right. So, set 2. Now, what is the best-selling comic book of all time? A, Batman 428, B, X-Men 1, C, Spider-Man 375, D, The Amazing Spider-Man 583.
I'd say X-Men 1.
I think it's probably Oh, he's right. Because I was about to say I think it's Spider-Man because you said 2 Spider-Man options. But
Wait, let's see.
It actually is X-Men 1. Good start.
yeah.
Yeah, come on.
All right, second question. What color was the Incredible Hulk originally? A green, B purple, C grey, D red.
Sea Grey. Sea Grey.
It is grey.
Wait, come
Okay.
on.
We're drawing right now.
All right. So you're banking on him getting the next 3 wrong. So
Nah, he's gonna get it right. Hey, I predicted it that he was gonna win. So
Let's see.
I hope he gets 5 out of 5.
Hmm.
If he wins, I win. You know.
Yeah, let's
Hey,
do
I love
this.
that.
We got this.
What member of the Avengers is brother to the supervillain Thanos? A. Star Fox, B. Warlock, C. Thor, D. Captain Marvel.
Say that again, please.
Uh,
The first two.
Star Fox, A, or B. Warlock.
A.
Jeez. Okay.
Come on. He's gonna get 5 out of 5.
All right, we'll see. Now, next question. What color is Robin's cape? Is it A, red, B, yellow, C, green, or D, black?
It's yellow.
It is yellow. Smashing it.
One
the last
left.
one. This is the last one. Let's see.
All right. What is Green Lantern's weakness? A, coldness, B, darkness, C, women, or D, the color yellow?
It's the same as Robin's cape. It's yellow.
Smashed it. 5 out of 5.
I told you. Hey,
man.
Okay.
Hey.
Well done, man.
Wait, how can your weakness be the color yellow?
I don't know myself, to be honest. I don't really do that.
So wait.
But I noticed.
So if you got yellow teeth and you smile in his face, he's like, ah.
I guess it's a myth for him, yeah.
In the comic books, yeah, all the lanterns they exist on a spectrum. So every emotion has a color, and the weakness for obviously willpower is green and fear is yellow. So that's the weakness. Yeah,
First, that makes sense.
So
You think it has something to do with
the
you know,
colour
like
spectrum.
the color spectrum and like opposites.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
basically.
All right, so we're almost at the end. Now, the last thing I'm curious to know is obviously you've just had the end of the year, Spotify Wrapped, Apple Music Replay. So, who are your guys' top artists?
I mean, my top artist was, I should know this, but I'm just gonna make it up because I don't want to go with who was my actual top tune. I'd say-
Guilty pleasure.
I'd say I'll go with Santi.
Santi.
Oh, okay, Cruel Santino. He changed his name.
I've not heard of him. What sort of vibe is that?
Oh, you know what's mad? He's actually he's not similar to Iman at all, but they're similar in the way that they don't really have a clear, like, you can't really pinpoint. You can't be like, this is Santi's sound. I feel like eventually, actually, I feel like you'll get there with Iman, but with Santi, his sound is just like so different. Yeah.
All right, cool. I'll check him out.
He's Nigerian artist. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
That's worth checking out.
Listen to what's it called? Mandy.
Sparky.
No, his project. It's called Mandy in the Jungle.
Money in the Jungle.
No, Mandy, Mandy in the Jungle.
Okay. All right, cool. Safe. I'll check that out.
Okay, my top. I think it's every year it's the same. It's always Kanye.
Yeah.
Kanye West. Yeah.
Easy, you a genius. You did it again.
What's your favorite Kanye West album?
I feel like the objective best is My Beautiful, but mine is personally Yeezus.
Okay.
No, Yeezus is up there, 100%. But I feel like because I feel like Yeezus was like boundary pushing.
Yeah.
You know. But I feel like definitely like it has to be My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, because I feel like that album is near perfect. You know, in terms of like album length, transitions,
Mm.
features, skits, musicality, mixing, everything. I feel like that album.
This is my beautiful dark twisted.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. But I feel like, but the reason why Azeez is my favorite, I feel like just the raw emotion of the project, where I was in my life when it came out, and like everything that came with the project in terms of like the interviews, just the general everything around it. You know, it was a time.
But I feel like my beautiful dark twisted, the artwork as well.
Yeah.
The visuals, the short film. Come on.
Yeah.
Dun, dun. Come on, man.
Yeah, it was sick, man. It was sick.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, man. Well, guys, it's been a pleasure recording with you guys. I honestly wishing you all the best. Looking forward to the next single, the EP, and yeah, anything to close with?
For the birds out now.
For the birds out now. For the birds out now.
Visual coming soon. Remix coming top of the year. More tunes playing head top. Watch how you speak on his name.
All right, love guys, all the best.
Yeah, thank you. And yeah, when the new comic comes out, we'll be sending you one.
Appreciate it,
comes
man.
out. Yeah, but yeah, thank you.
Safe.
And peace.
Safe.
You're listening to the Get to Know podcast.
So there we have it. Iman Lake and Azeez Bello. Honestly, big up those guys, man. I really like what they're doing. Clearly very talented, and I'm excited to see what they're gonna bring out next, because yeah, man, it's a great duo. Really pure, authentic vibe. Yeah, and I wish them all the best. You can follow them on Twitter for more updates. So Iman Lake is at @chillforme_, and Azeez Bello is Azeez Bello_. I'll put them in the description as well. Alright, so just before I go, I am actually known as a bit of a plug by some people for TV shows. So each episode I will give a recommendation for you guys. Now the first one is The Great Heist. You can find this on Netflix. Now, it's like a cross between Money Heist and Narcos. So a group of guys attempt to rob a bank of Colombia. It's based on a true story. It's only 6 episodes, 45 minutes per episode. So it's not a big commitment, but yeah, it's a really good show. I recommend you watch that. You'll really enjoy it. All right, now that's it from me. But thank you so much for listening. As a little treat for launch, I have decided to release 2 episodes. So the next episode is up right now. So check that out. More content for your head top. You can follow the show on Twitter. So it's at GetToKnowPod. Instagram, it is at GetToKnowPodcast_. Yo, hold tight, Jay, on this instrumental, bruv. This is flames. My G. But yeah, man, that's me. See you next week. Shout out Larry David. Big up Jurgen Klopp. Rest in peace, Diego Maradona. And bless up, guys.